My name is Karl Fagerstrom, and I'm very happy to be invited to present in this conference. This talk will be about Sweden and the harm reduction and the end game, and actually the target is achieved in Sweden. First, I show you my disclosures that are relevant for this speech. So the tobacco endgame, many countries have adopted an endgame definition. For Sweden, like many other countries, it includes a smoking prevalence rate of less than 5%. In the very last Eurobarometer study on prevalence of daily tobacco smoking, we can see in Sweden the red bar to the far left, where we are at 4%, while really no other country comes very close. Norway is at 9%. So Sweden is the first country, at least in the European Union and maybe throughout the industrial world, that has reached the end game. And interesting, if we look at young adults from 15 to 24 years of age, we see that the smoking prevalence in Norway and Sweden is almost disappearing. Norway is at 2% and Sweden is at 3%. So this is very good news. As these people are growing up, the smoking prevalence should go down, and hopefully the young ones that appear on the scene will not start smoking as much as have been done before. So has this low smoking rate led to less disease and mortality due to tobacco? That is what is important, of course. Here we can see data from WHO Global Report. This is from 2012, and death rates per 100,000 attributable to tobacco. And we have the European Union states. Sweden is not included here. We have Sweden besides here. And if we look at men 60 to 69 years, we see that the median death for lung cancer is 220 in the European Union, while it's 87, much lower in Sweden. And the second lowest country is on 91. The same is true for oral cancer and all cardiovascular. If we look at all causes, we see that there are 550 dying that's the average for the European Union, while Sweden has 222, and the second next best country, 378. So clearly, Sweden is also an outlier when it comes to tobacco-related mortality here. If we look at another data set, which comes from the Global Burden of Disease study, and this is also a little more recent from 2019, we can see that if we look at the men total population here, for the EU, the average is 128. For the Sweden, it's 72, and the next lowest in the European Union, 86. If we go to a narrower age bracket, 45 to 49, the numbers are 65 for the EU average, 19 for Sweden, and 33 for the next best country. So I would say clearly the smoking attributable mortality in Sweden is low and very much lower than in the other countries. It has been some calculations that is men in the EU have had the same tobacco habits as those we have in Sweden. There would have been a staggering 355,000 deaths fewer per year. So that's big numbers, very hard to harvest with control of any other public health factor. On this slide, which is quite a busy one, but it's an interesting one because here countries are rank ordered according to their score on tobacco control. Yeah, it's called the TCS, Tobacco Control Score. And we can see that United Kingdom is in the top, France, Ireland. Where is Sweden? Sweden is on the 15th place. So with that, we can say that Sweden certainly doesn't have any extraordinary strong and hard tobacco control. So how come then that we have such a low smoking prevalence? What is the answer to that? To me, it's actually these products that are called snus. They have largely replaced smoking. And that we can see on this picture where we have, on these curves, we have cigarettes that grew up till 1970s, 80s when it started to come down, and because probably snus was coming up. So we have had snus and more modern nicotine pouches that has largely displaced smoking. If we look at the right side of this slide, we see what is happening in Norway, where the men 16 to 24 years of age, we see the same, that smoking has gone down and snus has gone up. The same in women, smoking down, snus up, and smoking is very much down. And also the total, the yellow color, the total use of tobacco has gone down considerably in women, a little less, but although downwards in men also. So that should also be good news. The tobacco prevalence in Sweden is actually, in this study, it was 5%. In the Eurobarometer, which I just showed you, it was 4%. 5% of the men is smoking, but 20% of the men is using smokeless tobacco, snus. E-cigarettes is hardly used in Sweden. The prevalence of tobacco use is 25%. So that is pretty much what is the average in the European Union. But despite that, the harmful effects that can be attributed to tobacco is much lower in Sweden, probably because this is true what the former commissioner of the FDA said, that nicotine, while highly addictive, is delivered through products on a continuum of risk, and that in order to successfully address cigarette smoking, we have to be aware of the current adult smokers who still seek nicotine so they can get it from alternative and less harmful sources. FDA has also awarded Swedish snus with a modified risk tobacco product ordinance, which means that it is less harmful than other tobacco products, and this is also the only product that has got this statement from Federal Food and Drug Administration. And you can read here that the evidence that it is healthier or less harmful, one should say, than cigarettes goes for a number of diseases: mouth cancer, heart disease, lung cancer, etc. So in summary, combustible products like cigarettes, they seem to can be replaced. And non-combustible products like Swedish snus is significantly less harmful. And today we have oral nicotine pouches with tobacco that are thought to be even less harmful. Thank you very much for your attention.